ليلوم الخوف والكوابيس والخيانة، ليلوم الخوف والكوابيس والخيانة، نحنا قدامنا الصباح، نحنا قدامنا الصباح.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gedamna Elsabah's Poetry for Sudan event. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that this event is being hosted here in Burulu on Sovereign Wajak Nungabuja, and that a lot of our participants are based in so-called Australia on unceded Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island lands. Gedamna Elsabah pays our respects to elders past and present, and to all First Nations people across this continent. As a group of settler refugees, we extend our solidarity with First Nations people across the continent and acknowledge that the systems which have allowed us relative safety here in this colony are the same ones which create dispossession and oppression. We recognize that sovereignty was never ceded. This is and always will be Aboriginal land. If you're based in so-called Australia, please, when you introduce yourself, tell us which country you're on. So Gedamna Elsabah is a cultural forum that's concerned with creative and cultural work and the edification of its intersections with civil political resistance in Sudan. This forum is committed to human rights issues and the effective role of the arts in politics and social change. Today's event is to raise awareness of the situation in Sudan and to practice active and radical solidarity. Today we'll be hearing from poets from across the world as they share their poems for Sudan. The situation in Sudan has been dire since two factions from the previous dictatorial regime began a power struggle on April 15th, 2003. The use of heavy weaponry in densely populated areas in Khartoum and other parts of Sudan has led to thousands of deaths, tens of thousands injured, and millions displaced, and massive amounts of destruction. The two generals leading this war against the Sudanese people, Al-Burhan and Hemeti, have had a history of violence and face numerous allegations of war crimes and human rights abuses. Together, these two generals carried out a military coup on the 25th of October, 2021, sabotaging the transitional Sudanese government that was a step towards democracy in the country. They undertook this coup using the Sudanese armed forces and the Sudanese Response Forces, which is a rebranding of the Janjaweed militias, which are the two forces currently battling in the densely populated areas. Currently, the Rapid Response Forces slash Janjaweed militias are using civilians as human shields, while the armed forces are using heavy artillery against the militias. The loss of civilian life has been catastrophic in all areas of Sudan. Sudan civilians at the moment cannot access medical cares as hospitals have been destroyed. There is little access to clean water, and there has been a catastrophic collapse of all infrastructure. The situation changes daily, and we see the issues that are arising daily. There has been mass internal displacements and also exits towards refugee pathways. And this event is mostly to focus on how art can be used as a force of testimony and awareness sharing. And we are very thankful for all of the artists who are joining us here today. Sudanese politics and art are not distinct things, they are one and the same. And so it's very fitting that we have this event. And I think in all parts of the world, the artists and the activists are one and the same. All art is political. So I hope you'll be joining us for this wonderful evening. And now I'll just begin and introduce our very first speaker. So our first speaker is Dr. Vivienne Glance. Dr. Glance is a playwright, performer, and prose and poetry writer. She has, her work has been seen, published, and presented in Australia and internationally. She holds a PhD in creative writing from the University of Western Australia, and her creative interests lie at the intersection of science, art, society, and environmental activism and cultural diversity. Vivienne will also be reading the English translations to two of our poets today. So Vivienne, we're really looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much, Rafeif, and Afeif, thank you for the invitation to be here as well. I'd like to acknowledge that I am on the land of the Whadjuk Noongar people, the same as you are, Rafeif, and also acknowledge that this land has never been ceded, always was, always will be Aboriginal land. I'd also like to stand in solidarity with the people of Sudan, and I hope and pray very soon that they will find peace and have a return to the democracy that they all so deserve. I will read two poems. The first one is called I See You Walking. I see you walking. You're screaming. I hear you. She's crying. I see her. He's raging. I hold him. I watch you walking towards your future, and I want to step alongside you, but now it's my turn to follow. I am soil, rain, rocks, trees. I am sun, rivers, air, seas. I am your life on this earth. But if I'm to keep you safe, I cannot do this alone. Awoken by the voices of children crying at our lack of action, we strike at ignorance, denial of science, failure to imagine their fears, their fight. You will save us from ourselves, one youthful breath of hope at a time. You are the future we cannot deny. There's hope to be had if we dare to change as we must.
I'm going to read the Arabic version of Vivienne poem, أراك تسير. أنت تصرخ أنا أسمعك. أنت تبكي أنا أراها. إنه غاضب أضمه إلى صدري. أنا أراقبك. أنت تسير نحو مستقبلك. أريد أن أساندك لكن الآن حان دوري للمسير. أنا تراب مطر صخور أشجار. أنا الشمس الأنهار والهواء والبحار. أنا حياتك على هذه الأرض، ولكن إن كنت أريد أن أحافظ عليك لا أستطيع أن أفعل ذلك وحدي. استيقظت على أصوات بكاء الأطفال لأننا لم نفعل شيئا. نغرق في الإنكار وصمت التجاهل لمعرفة مخاوفهم وعراكهم. سوف تنقذنا من أنفسنا بأنفاس الأمل مرة بعد مرة. أنت المستقبل الذي لا يمكن إنكاره. سيكون هناك أمل إذا تجرأنا أن نتغير كما يجب علينا.
Thank you, Afeif. And the second poem I'm going to read is something that I wish for all of humanity: peace. You are a crumbling rock. You are a dream in patchwork. You are a giant balanced on a splinter. You are a basket of guilt. You are an outward breath You are dust on the shelf of memory. You are the hands of a baby. You are a glance at meaning. You are the crease in the curtain of denial. You are the green of valleys. You are a splash on a canvas. You are the water on desert seeds. And you are the blossoming of niggling questions. Who laid bare the kernel? Who stencils humanity? Who will embrace the flame? You are the mournful song. You are the hopeful prayer.
Thank you so much, Viv. These poems are absolutely beautiful. We're really honored that you chose to share them with us.
ليلوم الخوف والكوابيس والخيانة، ليلوم الخوف والكوابيس والخيانة، نحنا قدامنا الصباح، نحنا قدامنا الصباح.